Shavua Tov Rabotai, we are continuing with our Mishna Yomi Masechet Sotah. We are up to Perek Tet Mishnah Bet. Today's Mishnayot should be Le'elu Nishmat Neria ben Svetlana, Ranbayev Eliyahu ben Burcha Israelov, Chana ben Miriam Sason ben Raya, and Yoshua ben Shifra, Menuchatam beGan Eden, Amen, Le'avdi ben Chaim L'Chaim v'Derefua Shelemav, Daniel Shalom ben Rosa, Betoch Shar Chulei Israel. The Mishnah lists circumstances in which the ritual of the Eglah Rufa is not performed. Nimtzat tamun begal, if the corpse was found covered by a pile of stones, or talui bilan, or hanging from a tree, or tzaf al pnei hamayim, or floating on water, lo ayu orfin, they did not decapitate a calf to atone for its murder, shenemar, because it is written in Dvarim, chapter 21, verse 1, if a corpse will be found on the land, or fallen in the land, ba'adama velo tamun begal, the words on the land teach that the corpse must be found and covered on the ground, and not covered by a pile of stones. The words on the land exclude in the land, buried underground or covered. Nofel velo talui bilan, the word fallen teaches that it must be lying down and not hanging from a tree. Basadeh velo tzaf al pnei hamayim, the words in the field teach that it must be on the earth and not floating on water. So we have, if a corpse will be found on the land, fallen in the field. On the land teaches uncovered on the ground, not covered by a pile of stones. Fallen teaches lying down, not hanging from a tree. And in the field teaches on the earth and not floating on water. Other situations in which the ritual is not performed, nimtzat samuch lesfar, if the corpse is found close to the border of Eretz Yisrael, the sages derive from a verse that the mitzvah of Eglah Rufa does not apply if the victim was found in a dangerous place, because in that case he was partially responsible for his own death. Or le'ir sheruban nochrim, or close to a town that is inhabited mostly by idolaters. Or le'ir shen bad bedin, or close to a town in which there is no court of 23 judges. A town without a court of 23 judges, a Sanhedrin cannot bring an Eglah Rufa, because the Torah states the elders of the town, and such a town does not have elders, as the Gemara explains in Sotah, page 45b. Lo ayu ofin, they did not decapitate a calf. En modedin ela me'ir shesh ba bedin, rather in the case where the closest town does not have a court, they measure only to a town that does have such a court, meaning if the closest town lacks a court, we disregard it and measure only to nearby towns that do have courts. Although the Mishnah's words, they would not decapitate a calf, apply to all three cases, the law in the first two cases is that no Eglah Rufa is brought at all, while the law in the third case is that this town does not bring an Eglah Rufa, but another town does. Nimtza mechuvan ben shtei ayarot, if the corpse was found exactly between two towns, shten miviot shtei agalot, divrei Rabbi Eliezer, both of them bring two calves, meaning one calf for each town. These are the words of Rabbi Eliezer. Now the Mishnah refers to two towns of the same size. If one town has a larger population, only that town brings an Eglah Rufa and not the other. And according to Rabbi Eliezer, it is possible for a human being to make measurements that are absolutely precise, even within the width of a hair. Therefore, if the measurements made by the judges show that two towns are exactly the same distance from the corpse, we trust that this is in fact the case. Each of the two towns is therefore obligated to bring its own Eglah Rufa and perform its own ritual. The sages in Masechet Bechot, page 18a, on the other hand, hold that it is not humanly possible to measure with such accuracy, so the corpse is presumably closer to one town than the other, but we do not know which one. The two towns therefore bring one Eglah Rufa between them, and they say that whichever town is actually nearer owns the entire animal. Ven Yerushalayim mevia Eglah Rufa, and the city of Jerusalem does not bring an Eglah Rufa. This law is derived from a verse. The obligation falls in the next closest town, instead, as the Rambam writes in Nechot Rotzach, chapter 9, Halacha 5. And the Rav just does point out to us that Halacha does not follow Rabbi Eliezer, rather the Halacha follows the Chachamim. Both town brings one Eglah Rufa together, and they make this statement that whichever town is actually nearer owns the entire animal. And that is the end of Mishnah Bet. Now Mishnah Gimel interprets its discussion about the Eglah Rufa to teach where an abandoned corpse should be buried. When Yeshua divided Eretz Yisrael among the tribes, he made ownership conditional on accepting that if a corpse is found and no one is attending to what we call a met mitzvah, it acquires the land beneath it for burial. So whoever finds it may bury it in that spot, and the owner of the land cannot stop him. This is a Gemara in Baba Kama, page 81a. If the corpse is that of a murder victim and it seems that the killing occurred in some place other than where the body was found, we bury it in the place of the killing. The Mishnah discusses what is done with the corpse whose head was found in a different place than its body. If its head was found in one place and its body in another place, we bring the head to the body and bury it where the body was found. These are the words of Rabbi Eliezer, because Rabbi Eliezer holds that the killing presumably occurred where the body was found. Therefore, both parts are buried in the place of the body. When a person is beheaded, it is assumed that the body falls straight down and does not move, but the head after it has fallen might roll some distance away. Rabbi Akiva Omer, but Rabbi Akiva says that Gufetz al Harosh, we bring the body to the head and bury it there, because the killing presumably occurred where the head was found. Rabbi Akiva holds that on the contrary, we assume that the head is found where the killing took place, whereas the body could have been moved from there. If the person was running from his attacker, his momentum may have caused his body to fall a short distance away from the place of the killing. And the Rav does tell us, V'alakha ki Rabbi Akiva, the halakha follows the opinion of Rabbi Akiva. And that is in the Botai of today's Mishna Yomi. Everybody should have a Shavua Tov. Baruch Adonai Le'olam. Amen v'amen.